The emergency call came without warning, shattering the silence of a cold, misty morning at the high-tech airbase. Technicians worked with frantic precision, prepping the F-22 Raptor for a mission that couldn't afford to wait. Suddenly, the alarms blared. Red lights cut through the fog as soldiers scrambled across the asphalt. Inside the command center, the air was thick with panic. The screens were bleeding red with critical alerts. The mission commander stared at the data, his face pale. The situation was spiraling out of control. He shouted into his headset, demanding status updates, but the one answer he needed wasn't coming. The pilot's locker room stood hauntingly empty. The seat that should have been filled was cold. Outside, in the shadows of the hangar, a visitor watched. She wasn't dressed for a flight, but her eyes were locked on the jet. She analyzed every movement of the crew. While others saw chaos, she saw a sequence of maneuvers. The commander slammed his hand onto the tactical table. "We need a qualified pilot on that runway now." The silence that followed was heavy. No one moved. The mission was as good as failed. Then, a voice cut through the tension. "I can fly it," she said, stepping into the light. The room went silent. Shocked faces turned toward the woman in civilian clothes. An officer whispered, "Who is she?" Falcon didn't blink. She looked the commander straight in the eye. "Former combat pilot, call sign Falcon." There was no time for questions. Only the roar of the engines mattered now. Falcon was already moving. Within minutes, she was suited up, sprinting toward the waiting jet. The ground crew worked like a machine around her, pulling away the chocks as she climbed into the cockpit. From the cockpit, she gave a simple thumbs up. The transformation was complete. She was back home. The Raptor roared down the runway, a streak of silver against the morning sky, before pulling into a vertical climb. High above the earth, she pushed the machine to its limits. This wasn't just flying, it was a lethal dance. She dove through the clouds at supersonic speeds, the G-force pulling at her, but her hands stayed steady. Suddenly, a warning chime echoed. A radar lock. The enemy was watching. Without hesitation, she deployed flares, a brilliant cascade of heat and light to mask her trail. She executed a high G-turn, disappearing from the enemy's sights and regaining the advantage. Because some pilots never truly stop being pilots, okay? They just wait for the moment they are needed again. The mission was a success. As the sun began to set, the familiar silhouette of the Raptor appeared on the horizon. The landing was perfect, a smooth touchdown on the darkened runway as the base breathed a sigh of relief. Falcon stepped down from the cockpit, her helmet in hand, walking through the cooling exhaust haze. The commander was there to meet her. He looked humbled, the weight of his earlier panic replaced by respect. He asked the only question left. "Why didn't you say who you were from the start?" Falcon smiled slightly and walked past him into the dusk. "Because today I wasn't supposed to fly." Some heroes wait quietly in the wings, ready to soar when the world needs them most.